Scarpins Avenue.
Hey guys, welcome to the second ever Sklarbro Country, the virus edition, or got some new names in. I loved Sklarantine. That's good. Which I think we're going to use that. Come Sklarantine with us.
Yes, if you're
Come
Sklarantine.
Come Sklarantine with us.
Don't
Who
ever
said that?
sing again.
Sorry, that was Justin for the Ages. Justin Lev on our Instagram. Thanks, dude, at Justin for the Ages.
Also on our Instagram, the Skreedler.
The Skreedler. _Skreedler. Pandy Pods.
Pandy Pods is pretty sweet.
Pandy Pods does feel like an adult diaper.
Or Pandy Pods feels like what people are doing once Tide Pods are outlawed.
Yeah, their kids are eating the Pandy Pods now.
And they're going crazy.
So here's what we do. We've got this daily podcast, 30 minutes a day. We're trying to give you guys a break. Take a breath, but don't breathe on anyone else. And just, we know you're watching the news.
Take a break from the news for 30 minutes and hopefully laugh a little bit.
Yeah.
Hopefully understand a personal side to this where we will reveal to you what we're going through.
Well, we're thinking in our takes on what's going on in the world. We're going to hit it head on. We're going to go around the outside of it, but we're going to try and give you 30 minutes to not think about the serious stuff you have to think about. And come Sklarantine with us.
So we want to start off with a joke, right, Ran? I feel like that's a good
it's always
place
a good
to start.
place to start.
So you were telling me that
While I was asleep, I don't usually write while I'm sleeping. While I was sleeping, I came up with a joke that I told my wife.
Isn't that a movie? While I was sleeping. While you were sleeping.
While I was sleeping is a movie if
you told me Sharon Stone was in a movie while I was sleeping and while I was sleeping too, they feel like spin-offs from The Walls Have Eyes.
While I was sleeping, that's
Is
the
it
Hills Have Eyes. It's The Walls Have Ears and the Hills Have Eyes. While I was sleeping is the story of how Meg Ryan's lips got to be the size they were. Right. That's not what she intended, but while she was sleeping,
overinflation.
So I was sleeping and I thought, I guess I was just trying to write comedy in my sleep.
Right.
It's very trying times. I can't even take a break. I can't even take a break while I'm sleeping. I got to be writing.
This is how much like having to homeschool our children these days is cutting into our work time.
So
you got to get some good comedy writing in when you're asleep.
The joke that I wrote, and I don't even know if it's funny, and I can blame that it's on the sleep, but I do think it's funny because it made my wife laugh, although I told her in a half-induced sleep state.
Was she half-induced sleeping?
She was sleeping. She wasn't writing. So you know how animals can predict when something bad is going to happen? Like if it's going to be a rainstorm, the horses all run around. Your dog starts barking when there's about to be an earthquake and stuff like that.
Yes.
So my dog actually foretold the whole coronavirus thing.
Get out of here.
Yeah. 6 months ago, he started to circle around my computer and he just ordered 17 ventilators from Amazon.
That's pretty good.
Okay, so that's
pretty good. In your sleep?
In my sleep. I can write these jokes in my sleep.
They practically write themselves.
Well, I don't know about that.
I like that joke. Solid. If you got a good joke, send it to us.
By the way, there is more distance between us than this video is showing. Jay, get on your corner.
I'm on my corner.
Okay.
So I was thinking when I couldn't sleep, I was thinking what if Johnny Carson was still alive?
That would be wild.
That would be weird.
That was bizarre.
That was
just totally bizarre.
Wild.
Coronavirus. Coronavirus.
That is bizarre.
Yes, I'm so scared of the coronavirus, I won't even drink a Negro Modelo.
I won't even drink a Pacifico. That is wild. All right, so I was thinking... Hold for plane. I was thinking if, by some chance, Johnny Carson were alive... And he was still doing his show through the coronavirus. He ignored all the other late night shows.
Or if the coronavirus had happened in 1977.
This would be, in my opinion, I was thinking of, I'm trying to write monologue jokes
for a man
him.
who is no longer
So they
living.
can't be too modern.
No.
And they can't be too edgy because it was a pretty broad show.
You might have to make at least one reference to Yul Gibbons. Yul Gibbons. Which I went back and found out Yul Gibbons was like a Bear Grylls of his day.
Right.
So he was like a naturist.
Who was the guy who was the mind?
Eating flaxseed with Yul Gibbons.
With Uri Geller.
Eating.
All right. Uri Geller was
eating tree bark
mind
with
bender, right?
Yeah, Uri Geller was the mind bender.
So this is my Carson.
Yeah.
monologue joke for the coronavirus. If the coronavirus happened in 1979, he was still in the show. Boy, it is. You've heard about this coronavirus?
Yeah,
heard about it? It's pretty wild out there.
Yeah,
it's getting pretty rough out there.
Yeah,
I just read that Snow White refuses to go to work until Sneezy is tested. Now, that is bizarre.
Okay.
That is wild.
Okay.
Which is wild because Dopey's the one who refuses to wash his hands.
There you go.
That is weird.
That is.
Now, that would be...
That is...
It doesn't have to be the funniest joke.
Yeah.
It just has to make sense in that late night
they're
universe.
not going to work. They're not going to go work in the mine. They're the ones who have to go to work.
Well, she's not going to go to work.
Well, sure, work was cleaning their house.
Yeah, but like she has to go to work as Snow White. She has to be her, the actress who plays her.
Right. So let's talk about stuff that's going on.
Weird.
My favorite was Sleazy.
All right. So
Sleazy ran the nightclub, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So let's talk about things that are happening right now and our takes on kind of what.
Yeah, because some news is coming through and filtering through, and we definitely have some thoughts on it.
So people are starting to get coronavirus, people that you know. I mean, obviously Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson, Rudy Gobert, Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
A number of like some MLB players. Some people have it.
Mm-hmm.
Barkley, did Barkley have it?
I don't know.
That's terrible, Ernie.
Ernie, listen.
I told Kenny to tell
Ernie,
Ernie.
I had a coronavirus.
Ernie, I had a coronavirus.
Ernie, that's terrible.
There's no way he's going to say the S on coronavirus.
I had a coronavirus.
Ernie, I had a coronavirus. That's terrible, Ernie.
Hey, this is Shaq.
Shaq, I had a coronavirus. That's terrible, Ernie.
I did a commercial
Ernie,
for-
tell Shaq
But the ice
to tell Kenny.
if you got coronavirus, put
I ain't put no ice at high sleeve
sleeve
on a coronavirus. That's terrible,
on the
Ernie.
virus.
Ernie, that's
That's how
terrible.
you take care of it.
I'm losing
Take the ice
steam, Ernie.
sleeve on
I
the
ain't
virus.
got no battery, Ernie.
Ernie.
So
A lot of people are getting it.
and then so all right. I don't want Shaq. I don't want Ernie to get it. I don't want Shaq to get it. I don't want Barkley to get it. I'm sad that Barkley has it.
but when Rand Paul gets it,
Rand Paul. So there are two people who got it. We're going to talk about them. First of all, first things first. We'll get to Rand Paul in a second. Harvey Weinstein has it.
so Harvey Weinstein has it.
Coronavirus. To me, this is 100% a play for him to get sympathy.
Yes, because
He
it's like the Walker thing,
It's
right?
the Walker. It is the same thing. He has got coronavirus, and the
Because when
the
you
thing about it, that
look
sucks-
at the Walker, look in closely in the photos of Harvey Weinstein with the Walker. Look at the tennis balls and
Yeah.
see how dirty they are on the bottom.
If they're not that dirty,
if they're not that
then-
dirty, that's the thing he takes out for court.
That's right.
Those tennis balls should hardly be green.
Those tennis balls hadn't even seen the court yet. They're brought in court.
Thank you.
If those tennis balls can still bounce pretty well,
If those tennis balls had mouths,
the tennis balls have ears, eyes. Mouths.
I don't know. All I know is that people are rejoicing over this, and perhaps rightfully
Well, he
so.
got the coronavirus because he promised the coronavirus a part in Shakespeare in Love 2. And he got it.
He got it.
He done
gets
got
what
it.
he wants.
Well,
so some people
still.
are saying sympathy play.
That's not I have no sympathy for him.
No one has sympathy for him. But here's
I'm
the
not going
deal.
to say I'm happy he's got it. I'm just saying I have no sympathy for that guy.
The other thing about it, though, is that people were confused about how he got it. They're like, look, none of his lawyers have it. His family doesn't have it. Those are the only people he's had contact with.
Yeah.
And he's been in Rikers Island.
Yeah.
Like, bitch, he got it in the shower.
That's right. That's right.
That's the
passable.
least of his worries of the things he got from that shower.
Yeah, here's something you're not going to do when you're in prison. You're not going to be alone.
Yeah.
Everything is passable in prison. So
Even those people in solitary confinement, someone's giving them food.
someone's sliding him some food.
So
He got it.
and everyone's concerned. How did he get it? How did he get it?
We don't care. I really don't care.
Who's going to tell the guy who's fucking him?
That's right. Rand Paul. Is he the guy? No, Rand Paul, he got it. And then after his diagnosis, still worked out in the congressional, the Senate gym. Which I didn't know
Is
it
it
was
the Senate gym?
Yeah, it was the Senate gym. And he was swimming in the Senate pool. Like,
Man. This is a guy who voted against all aid
yep.
for coronavirus.
So in the Senate pool. I mean, the Senate pool has got to be one of those things. Again, it's lots of old white guys, lots of just hey, I'm still going here. You use like Rand Paul to me in the gym is the guy who won't spot anyone.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, hey man, can I get a spot? Nope.
I'm busy
He
right now.
pretends like he's listening to his headphones. What I would do is I would be like, he says, can I have a spot? Of course, he asks everybody for a spot. Right when he goes and he lifts the weight and he brings it down to his chest, you go take a phone call.
Yeah. He goes and takes a phone call.
You go take a phone
you
call
go
while
take a
he's
phone
got it on him. This is how you get a guy like Rand Paul back. It's moments like these that you understand why his neighbor like came after him.
Yeah, didn't
His neighbor like fought him, like knocked him off a riding mower and just went after and he got busted for it and he got, there was a battery charge. But still, you're kind of like, why at the time, why would he go? Now you get it.
He's a hateable guy.
So that dude, his neighbor, is rejoicing right now because Rand Paul has coronavirus.
And isn't it funny? He'll be fine.
He'll be fine. And by the way, everyone else he's infected, and he's infected a lot of people.
Yes. In more ways than one. Pre-virus.
He's the type of guy that makes the person at the gym who's working the front desk spot him.
Right.
And spot him on something that he doesn't need to spot. Like spot him on the rope thing.
You don't need a spot
You
when
don't need
you're
a
doing
spot
the
on the rope thing. Come on now.
No.
Come on.
Rand Paul. Rand Paul is now my. He never was my favorite Paul, but there was a time where I had him somewhere between Jake Paul and Logan Paul.
He's
now
he's now the least favorite
unless he fights Antonio Brown,
which Logan Paul is not doing that,
or takes a selfie in a suicide forest.
Yep.
Then you're dropping to the bottom, bro.
Yeah, you don't want to be at the bottom of the Paul barrel.
No.
And Rand Paul, you're heading there, buddy.
Disappointing, man.
I mean, put it this way. I know you have coronavirus, Rand Paul, but I'm going to say this. Jake Paul and Logan Paul don't want anything to do with you.
Yeah.
So that tells you where you're at.
If you're embarrassing that family name.
Yeah, exactly.
Who are you?
Rand Paul? Remember the gym scam?
So the gym scam, we did this on our old show, Apartment 2 After.
But it's worth saying it because I wonder if people pulled the scam again. I don't think they do it anymore.
So there was a thing back in the 90s where gyms really wanted you to join them. They would. And if you went to a gym, you could go check out the gym, quote unquote, try it for a week or two, right?
2 weeks, I think it was.
2 weeks. And then they would call you and say, what do you think? Are you going to join this gym or not? And
but it was like the equivalent of a timeshare. You go stay there for the weekend, and then you got to go to the 4-hour seminar, and then they hound
so
you.
they have your number, and they just
It's all about your ability to withstand the wave of pressure for you to be like, we gave you this.
Right.
So
they
the
give
scam was...
what I'm realizing also is that everyone just basically had landlines or new cell phones. This is in the 90s.
Right.
So you couldn't block anyone.
No.
So it wasn't like you could just block that number. So back then, you just had to take all these phone calls.
Yeah.
You normally didn't have even caller ID. You're like, I don't know.
Now I get a thing that says spam risk.
Spam risk, and just delete it. And then you block that number.
Right.
So now I'm wondering how those if they're operating in that same way. I feel bad for that thing. Because it was like a relationship.
It was such a relationship. Like you went in and you gave them 2 weeks and then they gave you hell if you didn't sign up. It was like, hey man, I thought we had something. I thought there was something there. I thought you loved us.
I thought you were vibing on our gym.
That's right. I thought you wanted to be a part of what we were throwing down here.
Nah, this is a real slap in my face. Like
2 weeks, it was like a real slap.
Didn't we have guys like that call us and be like, "Hey, it's Jim from the gym." Just want to say, man, I'm thinking about you.
Yeah,
we really want to see you down here at Dolphin Gym. Mm-hmm. We miss you, man.
Wish you were here right now.
We think about you every night. I look out onto this. I looked onto the incline bench and I was like, "Where is he?"
You know, that's more of a decline bench without you in it.
Yeah. When I look at it that way and you're not there, that's a decline bench.
It is.
What else is happening, man?
Larry Flint's Hustler Club in Vegas.
They're doing their part.
Yeah.
Should we save this?
Let's take you want to take a little break?
We'll take a little break.
How's everybody doing? By the way, you can tweet at us. We're at Sklar Brothers. You can send us questions or things you want us to talk about, and we'll be happy to discuss.
Subscribe.
Someone sent us a great tweet. What's your favorite TV theme song?
Or what's your favorite sports theme song?
Well, there was a sports one, and I said the local Raycom Sports, which was in the 1980s. in the St. Louis Midwestern kind of Big 8 conference, Missouri, Oklahoma, Nebraska.
I mean,
that was
wrestling at the Chase in St. Louis used Barracuda by heart.
Which, how great is that they took a female-driven rock band song and just King Kong Brody just kicking people's asses. Okay, so I would say those are up there too. But then someone said favorite TV theme song ever, and I was like, without hesitating, I typed in Good Times.
Good Times.
Because the verses of Good Times were amazing.
Even the end of the show, which is different than the big one.
Yeah.
Starts with keeping your head above water.
Right. Making the way you can. And we understood and we got it. Even though we didn't live in two Jewish kids from
lower
the
middle class, I'd say lower to middle class
kids got it.
In the suburbs of St. Louis.
Got it.
Understood what living in the projects in Chicago was like, which I think speaks to the thing of like, because kids, I do believe that TV shows are now so catering to like kids, like they don't have to step outside of what they know to like.
We were like watching episodes about like a rent party for Wanda.
Yeah, but now we know what a rent party is.
There you go. All right, let's take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about Larry Flint's Hustler Club in Vegas and what they're doing and how they're doing their part in this corona crisis. It is the Sklarbro Country Virus Edition, or the Pandy Pods, or the Pandemic Pods. Come Sklarantine with us. We'll be right back after this break. Hey guys, Sklar Brothers back here. Thank you for joining us. Please share this with your friends. Rate, review it, subscribe to it on iTunes. If you rate and review it, it just keeps us up on the charts and people can know about it. And we'd love to continue doing this for you because, God damn it, we love doing this.
We do. I do. I look forward to this. I mean, it is.
We've only done it twice, so saying I look forward to it makes it seem
for years. I've been looking forward to this.
Okay.
No, but
for years I've been looking forward to the second episode of this daily podcast.
Yes, to get us through this pandemic. But I do think that we are searching for order in this confusion and this mess.
Yeah.
We don't know when this will end.
Nope.
We don't know how bad it's going to be.
Nope.
We don't know what the overall effect is going to be on the economy or our lives or our jobs or our American culture.
Nobody knows. All we know is, are we going to get this pod up to people? Are we going to make this thing as good as we can make it and as funny as we can make it? Yeah.
So that's, for us, it is our way of coping with this, and we hope that we can
We're
distract
doing
you.
our part. Now, the question is Larry Flint's Hustler Club in Vegas doing their part?
And apparently they are.
We just found out about the virus, I want to say, like minutes ago.
Yeah, like there was like, wait,
they were the
what?
last to find out about this.
They're like, maybe we should wipe down the stripper poles once in a while.
Like
stripper pole, think about the diseases on a stripper pole.
Oh, my God. Maybe it's like so disease-riddled that it's immune. You know what I mean? Like the stripper pole is seen so much, like the metal doesn't even allow it.
I wonder if like old firehouse poles are like, just make me a stripper pole, and that's how I'm going to
Is that where old firehouse poles go to die or retire? Send it out to pasture. Go send it to.
Cut the top part off.
Cut the top
because it's only one.
Cut the top part off and send it to Crazy Legs.
Jeez.
So they are offering the Hustler Club in Vegas. They're offering free meals, Jay.
Because when you think about strip clubs, you think about. Here's the thing about the meals that are coming from the Hustler Strip Club.
Yeah.
No matter what you order, everything comes with crabs.
Well, hang on.
You get crabs.
Second. You get crabs.
No matter what you order, you
get
crabs.
crabs. I don't know if that's amended to that.
Let me see. Let me punch up my own joke as I'm saying it. You're going to get crabs. So just know that, whether you like seafood or not.
I don't. By the way, going to the Larry Flint Hustler Club for the food is like reading Hustler for even just one article.
Yeah, or even a caption on a photo.
Nobody is doing that.
No one needs to know anyone's names in there.
We don't.
Wait, Randy, remember when we were in Hustler?
Yeah,
we went to the Larry Flint building. We were in Hustler, and we were like,
"Hey, the girls don't have to take their clothes."
We made them. We and they had to call up. I think the phone call went all the way to Larry Flint. And it
went straight to his wheelchair Bluetooth,
right? They said,
don't you think like his whole wheelchair is a Bluetooth hotspot?
I think it's a hotspot.
I think it's a Bluetooth hotspot.
So they called them. They're like, hey, listen, the Sklars don't want the girls in their clothes, photos of their articles.
Can we do that?
And they fought the good fight, and in the end, we were
won.
like the only time in the history of Hustler
that
magazine
they ever had the girls
not be naked because we
It's fun though. I think the girls had a good time.
Yeah, they were probably more grateful or not more. It's hard to be more grateful.
I don't
than
know
they are when
if
they're in that.
Larry Flint offering food is a treat or a punishment.
Well, let me just say this about Larry Flint. He's always
You created this pandemic, everyone. Now you made this pandemic bed. Now you got to lie in it. In the form of Larry Flint's General Tso's chicken.
Larry Flint. I'll say this about Larry Flint. I've always said he's always been a stand-up guy.
Yep. Food from a strip club.
And here he is doing it again.
I'll say this, and I remember this because the strip clubs in Portland, Oregon, and we talk about this when if you want a great thing to listen to, we're going to suggest this.
Yeah.
In 2016 and 2017, we did a project with Audible. And if you're an Audible member, this is a great thing to kind of get you through, called Sklars and Stripes, and we do this whenever we go into a town. We usually try and write about 5 minutes of material about the town that we're in based on what we've experienced in the town.
So that's the challenge. Our plane lands on Thursday. By Saturday night, can we write 5 minutes? Well, for this project, we went out with Scott Rogowski.
Rags.
Yes, Rags, host from DAZN. HQ Trivia. Such a funny dude. He was our producer, but also a writer.
Help create the stuff with us.
Material with us.
And we would
10 minutes. Can we get 10 minutes of material
by
about
experiencing all the cities? So each chapter is a new city. These are the cities we went to. This is the year after, literally the weekend after Trump got elected, we went down to San Diego. So the country is being kind of ripped apart, and we are like going through the center of it. Kansas City, Tulsa, Denver, San Francisco, Portland. So we kind of went everywhere. And Houston, it was a blast.
Madison, Wisconsin.
So it's worth saying. But when we went up to Portland, we definitely experienced, there was such casual stripping in Portland. And people would say, I remember people were like, you got to go to the Acropolis.
Yeah, but everyone was saying you got to
Go
go to the
Acropolis.
We're like, why?
Are the strippers beautiful? Nope, steak bites. We're like, only in Portland. Only in Portland would they
come for the steak bites.
Stay for the steak bites.
That's what they say about the Acropolis.
So then we heard a vegan strip club.
Which, all right, Portland.
You don't need a vegan strip club. I mean, the strippers at this point, they can barely hang on to the pole.
Yeah.
Then we heard they were opening up a gluten-free, which that to me seemed like that was a gluten-free, but also so Portland. Gluten-free strip club where the strippers would be put on administrative leave if they had a yeast infection. I think that's going too far.
And I think that's discrimination. At a gluten-free strip club, no less.
Here's the deal. I don't think that the strippers, if you have a salad bar, which the Acropolis did.
Acropolis would maybe be a better
name for the strip club. Acropolis had a salad bar.
Look,
that sneeze guard could not go low enough. The sneeze guard needed to be like the bulletproof glass at a bank.
Yeah.
All the way down the bottom, you get your tongs up underneath and you clip up the garbanzo beans and go from
think
there.
about a buffet at a strip club. That food is probably set out and then forgotten about.
Yep. Like many of the older strippers.
A lot of crispy rice, if you know what
like many of the older strippers.
A lot of crispy on the main stage, crispy rice.
On the main stage.
On the bar, congealed meatballs.
And coming up next, we've got sake green beans.
I mean, that food, no one is sort of coming out to refill anything ever.
No.
They're not
They're
in
definitely
the food
not,
industry.
It's not Whole Foods.
Larry Flint, give out lap dances to people.
So they can't give out lap
dances.
dances.
6 feet away.
They can't do it. They can't do it until they figure out a virtual lap dance.
I don't know.
I guess that's just porn.
Well, it just feels like, thank you, Larry Flint, for doing your part.
Thanks for being conscientious.
They're saying they're trying to help the elderly.
Are they trying to help the elderly? Is that what this is?
Is it because he's an elderly gentleman now?
Maybe
it's his contemporaries.
It's kind of like, what do we consider elderly? You know what I mean? Is over 60 elderly?
Doesn't feel like it is,
but it is.
I guess
elderly.
I guess. I don't know. Who knows?
The Hobby Lobby, and I guess this will probably be
the last thing we can talk about.
The last thing we'll talk about. Let's talk about the Hobby Lobby,
which I already hate that place. Just because something rhymes doesn't mean that has to be your name.
Yeah.
A lobby is somewhere where you go to wait to get to the place where you need
supposed
to go.
So it's not good. So the
The
lobby,
lobby is not your final destination.
it's the waste. It's basically corporate purgatory.
Hobby house. Make it alliteration.
The Hobby Lobby
The
is
hobby hovel.
yeah. It's not great. The
Hobby hammock.
Hobby Habitat or Hobbytat. There
Hobby
you go.
town. Hobby town. That's such a better name than the Hobby Lobby.
In the Hobby Lobby.
Like a lobby
were
or
you
a
waiting to-
lobbyist. Are you trying to lobby Washington to have more
be more lenient on the
on the crafts,
on the craft?
like segment of our society that likes to do crafts?
You're in the Hobby Lobby. Where are you waiting to go, Michaels?
Joanne Fabrics.
I'm waiting to get to somewhere. Party City. If
Yeah.
you can go deeper than Joanne Fabrics, Hobby Lobby, Michaels, and Party City, we went 4 deep. If you can go deeper than that, then God bless it. How
And
deep
tweet
is your
at
hobby?
us, please.
How deep is your hobby? Like, just because it rhymes doesn't make it right.
Right.
If you're like, hey, we should get some breakfast this morning. Where should we go? Over to Rapey Crepes?
Nope.
Oh,
Do not go
I
there.
want to go to Rapey Crepes.
Nope.
So just because it rhymes, that's what it is. Unless you're a doorman.
I guess if you're a doorman, then you hang in a lobby, but otherwise you don't go. So
David Green, not former St. Louis Cardinal
Baseball player,
who was supposed to be great, and then Willie McGee came, and then you never heard anything about him.
right, he had a lot of promise. David Green.
All right.
So David Green, this guy, he's the CEO. He's worth about $6.4 billion.
And he said the Lord came to his wife during prayer time. And I don't know if I'd be okay with
like the Lord visiting your wife.
unannounced visiting my wife. Just visiting her as she was praying. Entered her while she was praying.
Oh, he was visiting her.
Is
while
that
she
a
was
form
praying.
of adultery? Is that a form of spiritual adultery?
So the Lord came to his wife, which is that him just propping up his wife?
Right.
Like, why can't he just say the Lord came to us? But he had to be specific and be like, came to her, just so you know, she's got stuff going
That's
on.
right. And the Lord Jesus placed his hand on the beggar's shoulder, like everyone who's in the Hobby Lobby has to listen to a sermon being piped in on the top.
Right.
Look, man, I just need to buy yarn for a project. And the Lord Jesus.
He laid his handeth on my wife's shoulder. Yeah, man, I just need buttons.
But he was the
Can you? I don't want to hear the story.
the Hobby Lobby dude. There was a
He said the Lord came to his wife and said, you should keep the store open.
right.
In spite of this coronavirus.
Keep it open.
And then he wrote to his employees in this letter, there's going to be some belt tightening for you guys pretty soon.
For them.
For them.
He's worth $6.4 billion.
How about you give everyone paid leave?
Yeah.
How about that?
I guarantee you're not paying him enough anyway. So it's not going to be a huge hit. It's a drop in the crocheted well for you, sir.
Jeez.
Mr. Hobby Lobby. Jesus. And Jesus put his hand on the
I just need
macrame.
popsicle sticks. I really just
And
need popsicle.
Jesus put his hand on the macrame
Rubber
sweater.
cement. Do you guys have rubber cement?
And
Just
yea, though I walk through the valley of
trying to
the
make paper mache. I
of
really
the
don't.
shadow.
I can't listen to this whole thing.
So that is what happened. So again, this stuff is happening out there. Again, it's really fun to watch people who have no clue. Did you watch the Madonna thing?
Madonna in the bathtub
In a bathtub with rose petals.
and music
Playing in the background, just saying how difficult of a time this is right
Look,
now.
it's a difficult time.
It's a terrible time. I mean,
this coronavirus knows doesn't care how rich
Doesn't
you
care
are.
who you
She
are.
had to put that in there. Doesn't care how rich you are.
yeah. Ew. It really doesn't, though.
It doesn't, but you're going to get a
I mean, you're
ventilator.
making a great point, but you're making it from a tub full of
rose water and with like music going. You're giving the people who want to hate you more reasons to hate you.
That's right.
And you're making it hard for the people who love you to defend you.
That's right.
You don't need to send out a video, Madonna. Just how about write a new song?
There you go.
Write a new song. Don't do a video from your heart. Write a new song. This is what we know how to do.
Yep.
We make fun of stuff.
Yep.
That's it. We're not making some heartfelt speech about how you need to, this is hard for us. Because if I can take a minute,
Jay.
it's been really hard on us.
It has. It has been on us,
Coronavirus
but
knows no age, no religion,
knows not from singular or multiple births.
It really doesn't.
So that's it, guys. That's just a little snippet for you today. Hopefully we got you through whatever you were doing. If you're taking a morning walk or an evening walk and you just want to get away from your family for a second, or your girlfriend or your boyfriend, and you just need that break, hopefully we'll give it to you.
We got you covered. All right,
we got you.
We're gonna
guys.
have guests pop on and do some voicemails.
Yeah, we'll do
the
all
week.
that stuff. Any recommendations for people for something that they should either watch or view? By the way, we have not seen, what's that called? Tiger King?
No, what we're going to do with Tiger King is we're going to watch it and
With Dan Van Kirk.
and sort of have
From
a
Dumb
viewing
People Time.
party live. And
So we'll set all that up and let you know. Again, thank you for joining this. Thanks for either watching it or listening to it. Subscribe, rate, review, let people know about it. We want to try and make this a big
we're going to try to put more and more headroom in our videos.
Yeah, I don't think there's enough headroom.
Distance between our heads.
My
and the
hand
top
is fully
of the-
extended, and I'm not even a third of the way
You're not
from the
even near
headroom
top
that we
of the
gave
thing.
us.
All we know is we love you guys. Come Sklarantine with us.
And when life gets you down, come join us out in Sklarbro country.
Boy from my dreams, if you're gonna